Mr. Chairman.
Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order and do a roll call.
Yes, we do have a. So this is the meeting for the Building and Standards Commission. I'm gonna read this. The Building and Standards Commission of the City of Laredo will convene in a meeting at 6 p.m. Wednesday, February 19th. First floor, conference room number 1, City Hall, located 1110 Houston Street, Laredo, Texas. The notice of the meeting is posted at a place convenient to the public pursuant to the requirements of the Article 6252-17, Texas Revised Civil Statutes. The Texas Open Meeting Act. This meeting will be open to public as required by law at all times during which the subject matter is discussed, considered, or formally acted upon. Out of consideration for all attendees of the Building and Standards Commission meetings, please turn off your cell phones or put them in silent. Pursuant to the Texas Penal Code, trespass by a holder of a license to carry a handgun, a person's license under subchapters H, Chapter 411 Government Code, Concealed Handgun Law, or Handgun License Law, may not enter into the City Hall Conference Room number 1, while the Building Standards Commission is in session with a concealed or openly carried handgun. We're going to start with a roll call. Mr. Chairman, Alan Jackson.
Present.
Albert Lowry.
Not present.
Roland Perez.
Present.
Chris Haynes.
Present.
Teresa Fonseca.
Not present.
Alma Mata.
Present.
Rick Solis.
Present.
Okay, for the record, we do have one. Okay, number 3, citizen comments. Citizens are required to fill out a witness card.
That's the chairman.
Oh, Mr.
He
Chairman.
takes the lead.
Yes.
Okay. Citizen comments. Citizens are required to fill out a witness card and submit it to the Building Development Service staff no later than 6:15 p.m. and identify themselves. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. No more than 3 persons will be allowed to speak on any side of an issue. Should there be any more than 3 people wish to speak on a particular issue, they need to select not more than 3 representatives to speak for them, and the presiding officer may limit public comments further in the interest of an orderly meeting. Speakers may not pass their minutes to any other speaker. Comments should be relevant to city business and delivered in a professional manner. No derogatory remarks will be permitted. Do we have any people here?
Necesitaba que hablar, tiene una sesión, algo que viene por una propiedad usted, señorita.
Sí, yo vivo allí en la propiedad.
¿A cuál de todas?
520 primero.
520 prima. Okay, so we'll wait till she makes that item to let her discuss.
Okay. Sí, entonces cuando ya llegamos ya llegamos sobre el tema de su propiedad, le permitimos hacer unos comentarios.
I'm going to speak about item 6D.
Okay, that is item 60, that is,
Do you want to wait until the item? Or do you
Yeah,
wanna
I
speak
can wait
right
for the
now?
item.
Okay.
Want to make sure I don't without anything?
No, it's,
The computer will approve all the minutes.
second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Same sign, motion carries. Staff report, update and current status on the following properties that we reviewed by the commission. We have 3017 Guerrero Street, 2002 Chacon Rear, 220 Arkansas, sorry. 3219 East Montgomery Rear, 112 Zaragoza, and 520 Constantinople.
You want to go ahead? Vic, or
All the properties are the same. They haven't done anything. Not even the nuisance, they haven't cleaned, they haven't done anything. They haven't responded to our business cards that I go in and live there, just to, they can call us back and tell us what they're doing, or if they're in the process of doing something. They're not doing anything, they're not even calling back, and nobody's responding to our messages left at the property.
what was from the previous motion?
Everybody was everybody was supposed to demolish the property except for that 520 Constantinople. He didn't, I think he was excused, or he asked for an excuse last meeting, and he never responded to our,
So do we have a demolition order for all
Yeah.
this?
all,
Okay. So we do have a demolition order on all this
All
property.
6 properties?
So if they don't if they don't demolish, we're gonna proceed with the demolition order.
And I guess since we're kind of getting started again, Mr. Chairman and the board, I will possibly put a staff report with possible action on each item, so that way next time you can, if you want to take action, an additional measure to just reiterate the demolition or something.
Okay.
Yeah, but at this point, it's just a staff report.
I guess for those of us that are new, some of these have been in here for a long time, I guess. At this point, they've been red tagged and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, good question. For them to get to this point,
Yeah.
us having seen this now for a couple of years, it's been a while.
Yeah.
For it to get to demolition order status, that's, all kinds of notices, and we have to follow, or I should say the city has to follow
Yeah,
proper measures.
Yeah, I think the ordinance is really clear about the procedure, and so then I guess moving forward, maybe,
All these properties went through the procedure and they were tagged, they were sent letters. We send them letters to be at the meeting, and the board.
The board's already been approved for demolition,
Yeah, so
so
this have
the
been
city
voted
already
to.
needs to just go ahead.
all right, just, yeah.
Demolition.
I think, yeah,
Continue with, with your procedures.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
basically the final procedure will be to actually the city demolish and put a lien on the property.
So then, once we do that, I guess is the city gonna, then,
We have funding, I just have to check in with management, they did freeze our budget, so I did have $100,000 set for demolitions. I'll just have to ask friendly, kindly, and so that way see what management tells me, and we'll bring a report to you all again next month on them. And like I mentioned to you, and I'll add the possible action so that we guys can, if you want to take an action to discuss, like, let's see, there's no funding, or maybe motion to write a letter to the city manager's office or something, or whatever.
Or also maybe present, when is Operation Crackdown, that was,
That's probably not gonna happen anymore from the.
It's up to the city, for the city to provide funds for demolition.
We're not really knowing why, but we have strong suspicion that due to that shift in funds,
border wall.
yeah, that all of a sudden there's no.
they're busy.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just suspect from our side, so. But
So just, all those properties are past what the committee had agreed to, except for the 520 address, right? That one has 6 months to get a demo permit.
520
For November.
Constantinople, I believe the board approved an extension.
yeah. He couldn't make it to last meeting on November, and we have a meeting on December nor January, so
So then.
Now, they have here agreed for 6 months for property owner to get a demo permit.
yes.
And then the 112 Zaragoza address, that one had a 60 days to get a demo permit, but they haven't done
Yeah,
anything?
they came to the meeting and the committee approved 60 days, but they never showed up. And
They
the
never came to
property
get the
still-
permits.
No. And haven't done anything to the property.
Well, that's going back to demolition now.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll proceed as we've been doing,
Okay.
and we'll bring a status report to you all at the next one. We'll detail it a little bit better than this year. I have assigned for the board's discretion, Rigoberto. He's the substandard board zoning officer, so he'll be dealing with all the substandard structures. And so he's getting better at this process. So we'll be able to give you all a little bit more detail in terms with the photo and everything, and update for your next meeting.
All right. I'd like to go, any other comments on this subject? Any concerns? Let's proceed to item number 6, public hearing, discussion of possible action against the demolition of structures identified as substandard and dangerous buildings. Item A, consideration of possible action on the property of Jorge D. Fisher, whose legal description is Lot 3, Block 80, Western Division, commonly known as 212 Grant Street. Staff declares this as a nuisance in accordance with the current adopted ordinance, 2013-0-25, Article 1, Section 24-1.4 of Chapter 16, Section 16.55, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3a, 2.3b, 2.32hi, 2.32r, and 16.55, 2.32u. Staff recommends demolition of the structure. I'd like to open up, do I hear any motions for open up a public hearing on this property?
Motion to open up the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we have pictures on the file and also here on the TV. And it's a burned structure. And there's no way this can be repaired. So we are asking the board to approve a demolition order for this case.
He already, the owner already went by the office and got a demolition order, demolition permit, sorry, yesterday. So he already paid, he's gonna demolish, he has 6 months to demolish the.
I would still request from the board to consider issuing a demolition order if he does not
Okay.
complete it. We have your directive, and if he doesn't complete it within the 6 months of the permit, we can still proceed with your demo order.
Okay. Would anybody here to speak on behalf of the property? Okay, motion to close public hearing?
So moved, make a motion for demolition.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So has the motion been made to demolish in 6 months if he doesn't?
The one motion?
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Okay. All right, moving on to item B, consideration of possible action on the property of Chavana Sergio A. Jr., whose legal description is Lot 7, Block 272, Eastern Subdivision, commonly known as 520 Fremont Street. Staff declares this property as a nuisance in accordance with current adopted ordinance 2013-0-25, Article 1, Section 24-1.4, Chapter 16, Section 16.55, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3a, 2.3b, 2.32hi, 2.32r, and 16.55, 2.32u. Staff recommends completing the demolition of the carport. Do we have anybody,
That's not,
And that's not that.
that's not the house.
Do you want to open up the public hearing?
yes, motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
I hear second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Usted viene para comentar, ¿verdad?
Sí.
520 Fremont.
Puede comentarme si se quiere venir a sentar aquí para que hable con... No tiene que estar parado.
Sí, ya le quitaron lo que es el structure. Los postes están enterrados en cemento. How do you do that? Do I just leave it
El
there?
problema era el techo, nada más.
Ay, ya está el techo. Ya lo recogieron y todo. No sé qué más necesitan.
What else was, was it just the
That was it,
carport?
yeah.
Was it just the carport that was
It was
substandard?
even not a carport, it was just like the two
Just
beams that were,
barrotes.
yeah.
So that was already done
Yes.
yesterday, or?
No, that's been done for
Oh, okay,
about
so that
2
picture
months.
shows that it's already done.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have it, the
Okay.
picture from today if you want to see it.
So basically, it's...
It's those poles right there.
That's
that-
yesterday's date.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is the,
I called so they can check on it.
By the time
Great.
this obviously gets posted and we do the follow-up just before we come over here, which it's yesterday, and you can see by the date on the photo, we just make sure that it gets done and doesn't get done.
So the property is compliant with what the
Yes.
staff recommended?
Correct.
Yes.
So we are at a juncture where we can possibly consider closing this?
Correct.
Yeah, Inspector Rigoberto, he went yesterday and according to the pictures, she complied
Great.
with
Thank
what
you.
we were asking.
I just wanted to
Tell
make
the
sure
record.
because I'm kind of nervous.
No, nothing to be nervous about.
You don't have to do anything about the post. It's not, we're taking more the hazard of the structure itself.
From
Yeah.
collapsing.
Yeah, so the poles are okay.
If we want to construct another carport, could it be done? Or we just ask for
You have
a,
to go get a
Get a
permit,
permit.
submit the proper, because we don't know if that one was actually complying with all the requirements, because it's really close to the fence.
uh-huh,
And you probably won't be able to rebuild it like the way you had it exactly.
uh-huh.
But, I mean, best thing is just go by the office and submit your plans, and we'll help you out.
Oh, okay. No, this will be sometime later. It's enough with right now, so we'll just leave it at that.
No, great, thank you, Ms.
Okay, do I wait?
And no, you just want to state your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Alma Chavana.
You're the owner or the?
I live there.
Oh.
My son is the owner.
Oh,
Okay.
Thank you very much.
thank you. And that's it, Michelle. So do you want to vote on?
Yes,
Well, should we close the public first?
Yes, sir.
Second. So I motion to close the public,
Second.
close
Second
public hearing.
that.
public hearing.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion, do I hear a motion to close this item?
I would say close it due to meeting compliance, and we could add that to the.
Motion to close this item due to the fact that the property owner met compliance and resolved the matter at hand that staff recommended.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's it. Mr.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for complying with everything.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're one of the good ones.
Hopefully you stay that way.
No, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Item C, consideration of possible action on the property of Hernandez Juan, whose legal description is Lot 9, Block 764, Western Division, commonly known as 2815 Common Street. Staff declares this property is a nuisance in accordance with the current adopted ordinance 2013-0-25, Article 1, Section 24-1.4 of Chapter 16, Section 16.5521, 22, 23A, 23B, 232HI, 232R, and 232U. Staff recommends demolition of the structure. Do I hear, hear a motion to open up a public hearing on this?
Motion to open public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do you have anybody to speak on, for, on behalf of this property, for or against? Nobody here? Okay, I guess motion to close public hearing.
I'll make that motion. Motion to close public hearing.
All in favor?
Aye.
What do we have on this one? I think we have already, this person already acquired a demolition permit.
Yes.
If I'm not
On,
mistaken.
December 12th,
Mm-hmm.
he acquired the demolition permit and he's actually working. This is a current picture. He already demolished the front porch. He's working in the back area, demolishing the back area.
So he's basically got the permit to demolish, but he's doing the work slowly. But of course, I think if the board can approve a demolition order just in case he decides to
Allow,
stop or something.
I would say you could issue out a demolition order allowing him the time issued on a demolition permit.
6 months.
Well, the remaining time on the demolition order,
Which is the permit.
Which
he's got, and if he doesn't comply, then we'll proceed to.
So make a motion, staff recommends demolition, to go and proceed with the demolition in case property owner does not comply.
Mhm.
Second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unfortunately, I think just for the, well, it's already, before we go to the next item, I think it's gonna be a minor issue because we're gonna lose quorum, because I would suggest
No, actually, with 4, we have quorum, right?
I think the ordinance reads 4.
4?
So we still have quorum.
Am I right? Go on. That was fine.
So what happened?
Number 4.
The next item, 920 Salinas,
I serve as the executive director for
Oh.
Housing Authority, and we
At
are
least 4 members of the
contracts for that property.
Okay.
Okay, great. So,
So I'm gonna
So good.
abstain from that.
Yes.
so I would
Right.
request.
We still have 4.
Yeah, I'm sure we're fine.
Yeah, we still have 4.
So I would just suggest no
Yeah,
discussion.
right.
Don't raise your hand. Just sit.
Consideration of possible action on the property, Cantu Fernando's legal description is N48 of 6 through 7, block 127, Western Division, commonly known as 920 Salinas Avenue. Hotel motel staff declares this property is a nuisance in accordance with the current adopted ordinance 2013-025, Article 1, Section 24, 1.4 of Chapter 16, Section 16.55, 21, 22, 23A, 23B, 232HI, 232R, and 232U. Staff recommends demolition of the structure.
So this structure has been abandoned for several years, and our inspector determined to demolish it. But of course, we have somebody here that wants to speak about this case.
Would you like to open up the public?
Yes, a motion to open up a public hearing.
Make that motion to open it up.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright, thank you. Good evening. Here to speak against this issue, against the demolition of the structure.
Did you state your name for the record?
Yes, Juan Mendila. I'm a planning and systems administrator with the Laredo Housing Authority. Currently, the Housing Authority is under contract feasibility period for the option to acquire this property. We recently just extended that feasibility period for another 45 days. We understand that there's concerns about the safety issues and other issues at the property. But right now, we have been going through this feasibility period, and we're looking at the possibility of acquiring it. If we do acquire the property, we would make sure that the issues, the health and safety issues are addressed within the first 6 months. We would start immediately working on the envelope of the building. So I just want the commissioners to reconsider that for the time, the demolition of the structure, being that we are under contract with the owner, with the potential to acquire the property.
Okay. And you're in a 45-day feasibility?
We had a 90-day feasibility period, and we just got an extension for another 45 days.
Okay.
Put us through April.
So what date are you looking at?
It just got approved today, so it's February, what's today, the 19th?
Yeah.
So we're looking at March 19th and then another 15 days.
Mid-April?
Yeah, beginning mid-April.
So, I mean, my comment would be that it's a historic building. I mean, it's been on postcards, it's a pretty well-known structure that I would not want to vote to demolish it at this time, especially given the fact that you guys have it under contract as for your feasibility.
Do we have a photo of the?
Yes.
It's the one next to Cultura.
It's next to Coach.
Right, across the street from,
We should have
Okay,
one.
okay.
And just to tell you a little bit about the plans that we have.
Yeah, that was my next question. What are the
Yeah,
plans for the
so
building?
we're looking at some market, based rental units there. The second and third story, and on the first story, we're looking at commercial, like, either probably office space or retail. So right now, we're working with our architect on feasibility for that. But we are looking at some market-based rentals, and then, like I mentioned, the first floor commercial. And the Housing Authority right now is undertaking other construction projects, so we do have the capacity to take on such a project.
And you all have the funding,
We're still working that out. We have capacity within the organization to be able to fund some of it. We would have to go with a bank to look for a loan to be able to develop the property, to redevelop it.
and part of my ignorance, normally where does that funding for the Laredo Housing Authority come from?
It's a mix. We do have some federal funds, but for some projects, we've gotten money from the City of Laredo for community development. For some of their grants, we've gotten funding for acquisition, sometimes to help us develop properties. We also have some properties that are right now, pretty much, we operate those, so that we have operating income from that, so we have our own revenue sources as well.
Right. Because you all are nonprofit or you're for-profit?
We're nonprofit.
technically, right?
Yeah, we're a public corporation. So we do get a mix of funds from state, federal, and then also from the local government for project specific.
Okay. I don't know if there's any other questions or?
So actually, the owner right now still Mr. Fernando Cantu.
Yes, so from our, no, last we know, yes. Obviously, from our side, we want to recommend the demolition side of it, but considering that there is a contract and they have been very successful, the Housing Authority in completing these projects, staff, I would make a recommendation from me as a department director that we maybe wait for their determination and allow them the time to fix it. And as long as we have that determination from the Housing Authority that they're gonna proceed with repairing it, am I correct?
Yes,
Well,
that's correct.
and I guess
Restoring?
if after 45 days you guys say
No.
it's not gonna work,
We can bring it back
and we'll.
Right.
You revisit it.
Yeah, right now, just like you mentioned, the owner, I
Right.
think it would make it very difficult also for us if we do
You,
go through the feasibility and we decide that it's something we want to acquire.
and
You know, having that demolition order makes it a lot more difficult
And,
for us.
another thing, another way we could go about it too is, what's your expectation of starting construction? If you were to acquire it, and then what's your design time?
Like I mentioned, we've already done some preliminary design work. In the first 6 months, we would start working on the envelope of the building,
Well, no,
taking care of all the,
the question is, when would you start pulling a permit out to construct?
immediately after we.
Right after you
acquire-
close?
Yeah, after we close.
But you would need
acquire it,
plans, and
we-
that would take how long?
Like I said, we've done some preliminary work on the designs, so then I would say maybe another month, most month or two.
So
After we
as a
acquire-
suggestion, as another suggestion for the board to consider, I would say allowing them, issue out the demo order, if they don't pull a permit by X date.
Okay. Can I make a motion to close?
Recommendation, right?
Yes.
Yeah, either or, I mean, I just wanna make sure that, you know, that we don't get caught like waiting and then I have
Waiting
to
for it.
come back to you in June or July and then oh, there it is, and then barely start again, so I'd rather just have the ability to just, hey, well, they didn't do anything, demo order.
But we can always extend that if they do end up closing,
Correct.
and if they do, like,
Yeah,
I wanna
and
cut
from
the feet
that
off.
side, we don't wanna demo it, I mean,
Right.
but obviously,
But I think if we issue the demo order, that's gonna make it difficult for them during their negotiation period.
oh, okay.
Or
Because
to get
then-
financing.
Oh, I got it, I
That
got
that was my,
Right.
that's
I
my,
think
that's one of my
the main-
concerns.
it. All right, well, the other set, well,
Can
going
we-
back to the original suggestion, just allow them the
Can we
time.
just table this item?
Get an extension,
Well,
in other words,
that's another,
right?
That's
Maybe
a board's
revisit this
option.
item, maybe revisit this item in about 2 months.
Yeah, we can table it for a few months till they finish their process.
would you like to give me a date?
Can we make a motion to close the public hearing?
Yes, yeah, go,
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
second.
I'd like to make a motion to table the item for 90 days. So that gives you, I think, more than ample time to, I know how things go and it's gonna probably get delayed, so 45 is not realistic. So enough to help you guys, because I think we're all on par that this is a good project that could end up coming out of this. We'll table the item for 90 days is my motion, and then revisit to see if you were able to close by then, or in a perfect world, maybe be ready to pull a permit and get financing, but nonetheless, we can revisit that in 90 days. That's my motion.
Do I hear a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Juan.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on to our last item on the agenda for this evening, item E, consideration of possible action on the property of Garcia Gonzalo Jr. Et al., whose legal description is Lot 6, Block 803, Eastern Division subdivision commonly known as 219 South Loring Avenue. State declares this property as a nuisance and in accordance with the current adopted ordinance 2013 0-25, Article 1, Section 24-1.4, Chapter 16, Section 16.55, 21, 22, 23A, 23B, 232HI, 232R, and 16.55, 232U. Staff recommends removing the debris of the demolished structure, apartment in the rear of the dwelling structure, and board and secured of the storage shed in the far rear of the property.
You can see at the recent pictures, she already demolish the structure.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
And we have to open up a public.
do I hear a motion to open the public?
Motion to open a public hearing on this property.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
This property has like 3 structures, right, Rico?
Yeah.
Has 3 structures, and the one that's in the middle, well, it used to be in the middle because they actually already demolished it. Where the vehicle is, they already demolished it, but they left all debris on the sidewalk.
Is it the pictures that we have here from December?
Yes.
That's been removed now, or they
Yeah,
still?
this is a recent picture, so it was taken on the 18th.
So, yeah, the December picture still shows the structure in really bad shape. Basically fell by itself. But they finished demolished it. But they placed all debris on the sidewalk. But now we're asking the board,
Staff recommendation on this.
we want, what do you want?
Well, back in December, we wanted to finish the demolition of the middle structure and board the
storage
but
shed.
I think he's gonna demolish the shed also, the storage in the back. He already,
Which one?
he already started.
Is that the shed?
That's the
Yeah.
one that's
The
demoed.
storage in the back? Well, no, the one in the
The
middle
middle,
is demolished.
okay, so
yeah.
that's the one in the
And
back.
this one, I think he's gonna demolish too.
Okay.
We couldn't get a hold of the owner.
Loring,
So the issue with the debris on the sidewalk, is that,
That's a,
That's a-
code enforcement.
that's a code enforcement issue? It's no longer a
But,
substandard issue?
actually, we're taking care of it.
Okay.
I decided not to call, I'll take care of it, I'll do it, But I couldn't get a hold of the owner since Tuesday.
Okay.
So, but he already removed most of the stuff from the sidewalk, as you can see here. He only has some tires here. He already got, the trash was picked up here. All the rest of the things are inside his property.
Does somebody live in that house?
Yes, here in the front, yes.
We have to do.
So the building, the one in the middle already got demolished, but the storage shed, we're asking the board if you can approve
So staff recommendations regard, you all have to demolish that.
Yes.
Okay.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
So I'd like to make a motion, to follow staff recommendations of removing the debris of the demolished structure, the apartment in the rear of the dwelling structure, and board and secure the storage shed in the far rear of the property.
What staff recommendation to have it demolished? That's what they said.
Actually, I told the owner that he can just secure it and
board it up.
board it up.
So it doesn't need to be demolished, it just needs to be secured?
Yes. So that's what we're
And they've
asking.
been working with you so far as clearing
Yes.
debris.
But the only thing is that we had Monday off, and Tuesday I went by his house and nobody was there. But he already removed some of the trash on the sidewalk. He only left those tires, but, the regular solid waste, they don't take the tires.
Right.
So,
Right.
that was the only thing, that was the only issue. The rest of the debris was inside his property. And then behind that, trailer that he has inside the property. This right here. This was actually outside in the right of way, but you already placed it inside, moved it to inside the property.
So he's using that to throw away the
Yes.
trash?
But he's doing it himself, so working slowly.
Yeah.
He didn't hire anybody.
So.
Staff recommendation wants them to board it up, so is there a motion?
Yes.
Okay.
To board and secure the storage shed.
The storage is in the back.
Right, that's the motion on the table currently.
I second that motion. You're all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
As far as the removal of the debris,
Y'all working on having the person remove the debris, right?
Yes.
And that's the last case.
That's the last
So we
item.
can-
So if there's no further items, I make a motion to adjourn.
The second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This is yours.
All right, thank you. Thank you to our two new members.
Welcome.
That was an easy one.
Yeah, you guys lucked out the short.
That was a quick
meeting.
run and an easy one.
Yeah.
We've never had so many people actually willing to work with our,
Yeah, this is one of our,
Our hardworking
one of our
inspectors.
easier meetings.
can we find out if that MG's for sale?
There's,
Yeah, you're a big,
we got some